to start off a
you
good.
got a Red Bull? I didn't know you were on energy drinks.
Oh, I fell off that wagon a long time ago.
Oh, you should have told me. I'd have brought you a Monster.
Oh, I don't drink that. I didn't fall off that wagon. I just fell off the energy drink wagon, but I don't touch Monsters. Those are I only like reward myself with Monsters. These I actually like just for the energy. Those ones I take because they're crack.
True.
So when I decided to start doing this podcast form called what I'm calling Fishbowl, who else should be episode 1 other than the guy that represents, the lead singer to the band that I've been using their intro music or their music for my intro over and over. Before I even used Leaving Hope, I used Piano Solo by You.
Yeah.
And literally, maybe in the next episode, we'll do the Ride Culture guys here, since we are at the Ride Culture compound in Rosemont, Minnesota.
Yep.
Yeah, I just thought this would be a cool format, brother, that
yeah, absolutely.
It's exciting. It's fun. And you're like the perfect person because, one, you're my brother. We have gotten in trouble as kids together. Okay, we moved across the United States and our families came together. We've rode motorcycles side by side. You've watched the Ridingfish channel grow from literally nothing, and I've had the pleasure to watch Leaving Hope turn into this just what is becoming a phenom. You guys are freaking killing it. I gotta say, 2024 has to be your biggest year with the biggest trajectory in growth, and that's why we're here. So as you guys see here, you can introduce yourself, who you are. I promised I wasn't going to be like taking over the interview. That worked for all of 4 seconds. So, all right.
You got to introduce and all the things, right? You got to segue everything as opposed to like putting me on and then being like, everybody's like, who's this guy? Like, where's Fish?
Well, this is my brother D, the lead singer of Leaving Hope. You guys know his music by my intro music. Yeah, man. Go ahead. How long has Leaving Hope been around anyway?
I think I started trying to put the band together in like 2018, 2019, right before, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
So, we kind of just took that time to write, and then, and then setbacks and so on. And then, it really didn't start kicking off until 2021, really.
Yeah. So. I remember you guys doing like COVID parties, right? The whole band. You're like, well, if we're all exposed, we're exposed together.
Yeah, that's we're from the 80s, you know what I mean? Like we grew up in the 80s, so
no, you're the old guy.
Chicken pox, like, oh, chicken pox parties. Your kids got chicken pox, I'm sending all mine over,
Dude, so actually you're the old guy of the band, right? Pretty much everybody else is.
Not anymore, no.
Chaz.
Chaz is older than me, thankfully.
Oh my God, that's so good.
Thankfully for me.
That way he could be the mature one and we can just freaking party.
Yeah. You're in trouble if I'm the mature one.
Man, I feel like that often, even when I'm like riding with a lot of people and stuff, I often think I'm supposed to be the mature one. And I'm like, dude, I'm the youngest 40-year-old guy you'll ever meet.
Right.
And even my body doesn't feel like this old number, and so yeah, we often get to do crazy things, man. But to talk more about 2024,
yeah,
bro,
it was quite the year.
This was quite the year.
Yeah, Chaz joined the band.
Yep.
Chaz joined the band.
You guys did some charity work at the beginning of the year.
Yes. So we were actually at the at Lupulin Brewery in Big Lake. Lupulin Brewing Company, I think. It's Lupulin for sure. I just don't know. I can never remember if it's brewery or brewing. I think it's brewing. But So we were there, like a bunch of the bands got together so Lupulin Brewery in Big Lake, they worked with the Scars Foundation, which was started by Godsmack singer Sully Erna. And it's like to raise charity money and awareness and stuff for like youth mental health stuff and services. And so we got to meet with a bunch of the other bands there at Lupulin and help them brew the beer for the show, which was called Metal Health for Mental Health. So we showed up a few weeks before the show to help brew the beer that eventually put all our names on the cans and stuff and sold in stores, which is pretty awesome.
Dude, I remember seeing your logo on it. Or not your logo, it just announced, right? I don't think it was actually your logo. Or was
our logo was on the can.
Yeah. Our logo was on the can.
Yeah.
And then also named in the description or something, right?
Yes. Yeah. It was just so cool to be a part of something so awesome. I mean, I think our goal for this year was to raise $15,000 for charity, and we ended up raising nearly 30. So.
Dude, that's good for you guys. I mean, and I know it's a community effort, and the music industry's community is a lot like the motorcycle industry.
Yes,
everybody kind of gets each other's back and stuff like that. So then after that, I'm going to just jump ahead right away to Battle of the Bands. Tell me a little bit. You guys
was a couple weeks later.
Oh, was it a couple?
Yeah.
So I'm not even jumping ahead. Yeah. So
yeah, it was like May 11th. We did the Metal Health for Mental Health with so many other bands, and Justin Crandall was hugely instrumental in putting that whole thing together. So hats off to you, bro. You're the real hero. And then a couple weeks later, they had a Battle of the Bands in Sturgis, and so we happened to see it.
Battle of the Bands for who though?
It was for Sturgis, put on by the Sturgis Buffalo Chip and the city of Sturgis. A bunch of sponsors and stuff came together to make it happen too. And like the grand prize was you can kick off the rally at the Buffalo Chip opening for Bad Wolves. And so I just saw it and I was like, hey guys, you want to like give this a go? And everybody's like, yeah, let's just go do it. Okay. And that was it. Like, oh, why the hell not?
So you guys loaded up, drove the 600 miles.
Yep. And why not? Like, we just, the five of us loaded our gear and took off, and went to Sturgis, played a 15-minute set, like in a brand new market we'd never been to, never played, like I'd been there with you a few years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it was just, and the bands were great. There's so many awesome bands. Some were coming from Arizona and Tennessee. Like there was some that came further than we did.
Dude, they were bringing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you freaking took it home.
Yeah, that was. I don't even. Yeah, it was very surreal because like I've been in a few Battle of the Bands throughout my life. Never win, never like. So I didn't expect to win that one either. You know what I mean? Especially with the bands being as good as they were. They were tremendously good bands.
Yeah. So the city of Sturgis and Sturgis Buffalo Chip put that on basically. And then you won the opportunity if you guys wanted to do it to play Sturgis opening kickoff day, right?
Yes. Yeah. Kicking it off with the Buffalo Chip or with Battles at the Chip. And then we won like some studio time.
Yeah. And then after that, how did you get into Rockfest? Was that just an application process, or did somebody overhear you, or do you have to send like clip music? Because you did Rockfest. I mean, like, dude, you just one after another this year.
Yeah, that was Rockfest was. We just submitted for it. I sent an email to the contact that I had, and I kind of just I was like, how do I set us apart from every other like band that's trying to pitch themselves for these slots, and so like I just got a little, just had a little fun with it, and we ended up getting selected to play Rockfest. We played 3 1-hour sets. That was a lot.
3 1 hour. I mean, Yeah, and you didn't share the stage with Jelly Roll, but you
No, we were on a different stage.
can't do it all in 2024, bro. You gotta do something for 2025.
Right? Like where would I go after that?
Oh, yeah, right. You'd have to make calls and be like, hey, Jelly. I don't know. Do we call him Jelly or Jelly Roll? Like, I don't know. I'd be like, hey, Jelly. You know, I guess I'm opening for you all the time.
But yeah, maybe that's a question for the hive mind. How do you address Jelly Roll? Like, like when you talk to him, like, hey, what's up, Mr. Roll? Like, hey, Jelly, like, hey, Mr. Jelly Roll, like. Maybe Jelly Roll respond to this and be like, hey, no, actually, you could just refer to me as such and such, you know, like.
What's Jelly Roll's real name?
I haven't the slightest notion.
Oh, I should know it. It doesn't matter, but yeah, yeah. Anyway, I would call him like Mr. Jelly. I don't know what I'd call him, but it'd be so funny. And the little bit I know about that guy, I think he would roll with that joke. Because,
oh, absolutely, yeah. From what I understand too, we didn't get to meet him at Rockfest, unfortunately. But yeah, we had a great time. It was cool. Like as we were loading out, getting to like see and catch some of his setup there. And then like at Rockfest too, like between our sets, there was a band on the main stage.
Yeah.
So I think so we went on right after Struggle Jennings. And we went on, and then we watched Fever 333, and then we went on, and then Chevelle went on, and we got to watch them, and then we went on, and then Jelly Roll went on.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I didn't get to make Rockfest this year, as you know, obviously, but I got to make a couple of local things that you guys did.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've been to a handful of your guys' performances, and I've always thought it was good. But Sturgis, bro, I could cry. For reals. You guys were so good. It was ridiculous.
Thank you.
Just to like see from like 2018, 2019, 2020 fucking around. I remember giving you shit. I'm like, dude, I guess if you're all going to get sick, you all get sick together, you know? But yeah, it was incredible to watch you kick off the Sturgis rally at Sturgis Buffalo Chip, which is a venue that I freaking love. I've been fortunate enough to meet a lot of the people that run Buffalo Chip and the people all over, and I've done a lot of events there, and I've worked a bunch. I've even kind of covered stuff. This was the first time at the Chip that I was able to like enjoy, right? And I got content, and that all didn't work out so good. I can't even believe it. So I was getting ready to, and I'll just tell everybody why I'm not dropping a bunch of content right here. I was in studio and I dropped the SD card and I rolled my chair backwards just enough to crack the card in half. By crack, I mean break. But yeah, it was pretty amazing to watch you guys. You guys just killed it. And where the mix of this all is you got to do it in front of I'm not a musical person, you know that?
Yeah.
And never have been. You also know that.
Yep.
But to see you guys kill it in front of and you're a motorcyclist, we know that, but like to watch you killing it in front of like the people that, my people. It's easy when you go to a rock fest and everybody loves music. But when you go to a biker thing where music is there to help entertain motorcyclists and then to just watch everybody just blow up, and you guys deserve all of it. Not just you, your whole freaking band. Obviously, I'm like biased because you're my brother, but yeah, man, it was just freaking insane to watch that and to experience that and to kick off the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. I was potentially not even going to go this year until you won that spot, Yeah. So it's just,
I think I was there too. Like, you always want to go to Sturgis. You always want to go to the rally, It's just whether or not it's in the cards or what have you, So,
I like to say we're only a day's ride. If we leave early, we could be there by dinner. It's not like, so because you and I, we've done a lot of adventures together. We've done Sturgis together. We've done most of Mount Evans together.
Yeah.
Because
I couldn't hang and make it to the top.
I wasn't going to say it. I was going to leave it out, but no, it is true. So altitude sickness is a real thing.
Yeah, I made it to the lake. I couldn't do I think it was like 1,500 feet.
Yeah.
Is all it was.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it. And so we go up this mountain and you start to get sick. And I remember everybody started feeling weird. And I think I was leading the group of us. There was like 6 of us or something.
Yeah.
And I pulled over and I was like, man, you guys, anybody else feel a little like drunk almost? Like I couldn't understand. I don't remember what I felt like, but it was something like that.
Yeah.
And
just kind of woozy and like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like dizzy a little almost.
Yeah. And so we pulled over. And after a little while, I started kicking it and everybody started feeling good. And you just couldn't kick it. And we waited like an hour. And I finally was like, bro, I hate to leave a man behind, but I'm 1,500 feet from the top or whatever the heck it was. I'm like, you just wait for us. We'll be back.
Yeah. I was totally fine with that. I propped myself up against a boulder and passed out. And then you guys came back down. And I was like, oh, hey, they're here. You guys are like, you look like shit. I'm like, yeah, I remember eating like some beef jerky. And then I think once we got back down to about a mile elevation is when I was totally fine again. But yeah, because I think, what were we at? We were like, I made it to like 12,000 or something. And I think what's the highest point there on Mount Evans?
Like 14,215 or something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I made it to the lake. That's why everybody's like, oh, I got the high part, And I was like, where's the one that just says the road?
I was like, you're not allowed to get that patch that says road to the top.
Right.
Just, you were there.
Instead, I got a sticker for my windshield that says got oxygen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, after that, we even, if you guys don't know, I rode in India and I went to one of the highest passes in the world, 18,000 feet. And, the original plan was for you to go, obviously, freaking life, man. Yeah.
Life. Yeah. Deposit was put down for both my wife and I.
Yeah.
And yeah, just life happens. And
yeah. It's
not a never. It's just not a right now.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we pushed the trip back like 3 times. And finally on the 3rd time was the time I went and, I didn't expect to go. Like that was a whole lot of fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of like you guys going out to Sturgis.
Yeah.
And so,
like, what the hell? Why not?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like you only live once. Like,
yeah. And that little like side quest, I guess, as we were talking, the band and I, like all of us in the band, we were talking, and it's like the little side quest to Sturgis wound up being like the best thing we'd ever could have done. It was the biggest stage. It was the biggest crowd. Like as far as just having the people in front of you, the experiences were just incredible. Like they said, it's the biggest stage in South Dakota. And then I saw it and I was like, okay.
It's a big stage.
Yeah, you're not lying. I mean, the catwalk was 40 feet out. Like, I was like, this thing is huge.
Yeah.
I've never, like, up until Rockfest, I'd never played with the catwalk, like in a concert setting, modeling back in the day, sure, Rock the Runway, but having a stage with one is kind of a different ballgame. I'm just glad I pace all the time. So I'm never standing still at home. So being on stage, I'm not standing still either.
Yeah. How did, so your bandmates aren't really motorcyclists, none of them, right?
No.
Nah, you're it. And then me, I'm always forcing motorcyclist shit upon you guys as I ride over there. And
I'm always sending them new like bikes for sale on the cheap. Like, hey, this one's only $1,000. Hey, this one's only $2,000. I don't have $1,000. Quit being cheap and get a bike.
Yeah. You'll thank me later. Yeah, man, it was just a hell of a year for you guys, and I think you have really made, you guys have made a name for yourself, and I think 25 is gonna be super exciting. Have you guys thought about doing Sturgis again?
Oh, we would love to.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
Buffalo Chip, right?
Hint, Chip.
Buffalo Chip. Yeah, I mean, well, you guys did so good. You played a second. They asked you to play a second night.
Yes, we played. So we played with Bad Wolves first night, and they asked us if we wanted to play again the next night for the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, their after party. And I had never been to an MMA event, let alone like a bare knuckle box. I've never been to a boxing match or any of that. Not for lack of desire, just never lined up. Yeah, life. But so when they were like, "Do you guys want to play the after party?" We were like, "Absolutely, the hell yes!" Like, And
that is your guys' scene. A lot of you guys love MMA and stuff like that. So that whole thing is like, Conor McGregor was there, you know?
Yeah. So I had heard murmurs, right? Like somebody's like, oh, they're saying Conor McGregor's going to be here. I was like, believe that when I see it, you know? And then they're like, no, they said he's supposed to come down to the after party. I'm like, okay, I'll believe that when I see it. And then I'm looking at it and they're, you know, we're starting to play and sure as shit, there's Conor McGregor. And I'm like, well, I'll be.
Let me just name some of the people that were at Sturgis Buffalo Chip this year. Okay.
Yep.
Leaving Hope.
Yep.
Bad Wolves.
Yep.
Conor McGregor.
Yep.
Mr. Jelly Roll.
Yes.
Kid Rock.
Yes.
Dude, you're on you. I mean, amongst others.
Yeah.
Those are just the ones that like right off the top of my head.
Yep.
Dude. I mean, you shared a stage essentially with the biggest mofos ever. And
I had to buy a shirt just because our name was on it. I was like, man, nobody's going to believe this. Like,
oh, man.
I wouldn't believe me.
So it was really funny. And I don't think you should do this, but there was a day when I was coming back from India and it was my last day. And I was getting ready to come into Delhi. And, you know, I had like 3 hours left or whatever. Well, I thought it was 3 hours, but I had about 3 hours left. And I remember thinking to myself, real talk, I was like, you know, if I quit riding today and never rode a motorcycle again, I feel like I've accomplished everything I can. Dude, do you feel like that? I mean, after this year, I mean, how about Jelly Roll opens for you next time, you know, or Kid Rock?
All right.
But no, it's just like, dude, you guys did good. I mean, talk about this. Not sure. So, you know, obviously we're brothers, so I have a bunch of inside information. Mm-hmm. So there was a little bit of talk about you, people from Bad Wolves enjoyed your show so much that you started chatting with them. Yeah. Tell me that's gone somewhere.
We've chatted a little bit. Bad Wolves guys are just awesome. So like, for real, shout out. You guys were great. Doc specifically, you're fucking awesome, dude.
They put on a show, man.
Oh, hell yeah, they do. Absolutely. And super cool cats. They stayed, you know, side stage for us for a little bit. They had all kinds of like just positive feedback and really cool, you know, just like cool vibes, cool energy, good advice, feedback, the whole 9 yards, you know.
I thought your guys' two bands were a good pairing too.
I felt like that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so here so hopefully you guys keep push that a little bit, right? Because I think you guys should, but something you call yourself a metal band, but you guys do all kinds of different you're not really all metal. You do metal music, sure.
I don't call us a metal band because I feel like I sing too much for us to be a metal band.
Oh, you don't scream enough?
Yeah, I don't scream enough.
Yeah. Okay, good. So a rock band?
Yeah, I always just say we're a rock band because we can do everything heavy, soft. You know, I showed you some of the. So what he's not telling you is, I may have just given him a little preview of some inside scoop on one of the songs we just rapped for the record. So,
sure, a lot closer to country than metal. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, got to be closer to country than metal.
Well, I mean, we got to try and bridge the gap if we're gonna get Jelly Roll to open for us at some point. Is that right?
Hey, man. Oh, man. I do have some questions for you. Yep. So I'm getting ready to head down to Mexico. I'm gonna ride in Mexico for the first time.
Hell yeah!
You have already ridden in Mexico.
Yes.
Bro, advice or tell what was that like? Tell me a little bit. So, by the way, what kind of motorcycle do you have?
So,
obviously rhetorical.
Now I have an Indian Springfield.
This is like your third or fourth bike.
It's my third, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a 2019 Indian Springfield Dark Horse, and then I've got a 2016 Indian Chief back in California.
Okay.
And
you had a Kawasaki.
I had a Kawasaki. That's what I rode in Mexico.
The Kawasaki.
Yeah, I had a 2012 Vulcan Vaquero, 1700. So
and
that's
you owned a Suzuki.
Yeah, and I had the Suzuki too, the 800.
Your wife has a Chieftain.
Yep, the Chieftain Elite 2018.
Yeah, fucking
sold the Suzuki after we wrecked it.
Oh, next episode.
Notice how I said we.
Yeah, I mean there was two of us involved.
Yeah, takes two to tangle into the road.
So riding in Mexico, what's it like? I mean,
This is white knuckle driving. Like I don't ride hard as like you do, So for me, it was very different. Like I had never lane split, or never done any of that kind of stuff. And then I'm on this big vaquero in like on these little Mexican streets, and potholes everywhere. You got a lane split against traffic to get. It was nerve-wracking, but I was also in Mexicali, which is like the North Baja capital. Yeah. So you're going to be in Rocky Point, right?
Yeah, I am. Yep. I'm actually joining. Adam Sandoval has a ride out of Phoenix.
Hell yeah.
So me and Bob Cole from BC Customs, we're flying to LA. We're picking up a couple of Indian motorcycles, and then we're going to ride to the Harley Davidson dealership in Phoenix, Buddy Stubbs, and we're going to meet up with everybody that's meeting Adam.
Hell yeah.
And then we're going to ride down. But actually, on the way home back to LA, Bob and I are going to ride to Mexicali and then cross over there. So we're going to do like a whole day's worth of Mexico riding.
So my advice to you coming across in Mexicali, like back across, would be do the
Algodones. Don't do Calexico. Do the Algodones.
Algodones would be way easier.
Yeah, that's why I was actually real talk. That might be your actual truth because the traffic's going to be freaking wicked.
But also consider the port in Algodones closes at like 2 or 3 p.m. Maybe 5.
Okay.
But it closes like for the day. It's not open.
It's not 24/7.
No.
Like Mexicali's is.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Okay.
But yeah, so in Mexicali, when we were coming up, you have all those wide lanes going to the port,
This is southbound you're talking about right now?
Or northbound. Coming back.
Okay, yeah.
You'll want to stay like where all the cars are stopped, and then there's like another few roads, few lanes or whatever to the left. You'll just want to get over to the left to bypass all the stopping still cars, and then you'll come up to like the K rail or whatever, the concrete barricade, and then you're basically just gonna and cut right in and jump in. Like that's just how it has to do with motorcycles, unless you're gonna sit there all day on a hot bike in the sun.
Just jump everybody.
Yeah, pretty much, and they allow that for that lane.
At that point, you only got about 20 feet, and they ain't chasing you into the states.
pretty much, yeah. Like,
and that's actually the state's border, right? I mean,
yes.
Realistically, that's on the state, basically the state side.
Yeah,
you're coming into these states.
Yes, I believe. But yeah, we had to do that, and they like moved some stuff for us to come through. And
so you said who else went with you? I thought you.
I went with a couple of friends. We went down there. A couple of friends from back home.
Okay.
We ended up riding down. I went down because I was going to get my seat reupholstered, and they were like, "Oh, there's this really cool reupholstery shop, and it's right across the street from this bike shop that we all take our bikes to and stuff." Like, oh, well, then let's go, So we went down there. And we met a couple people down there, and we just sat. It was like 110 degrees that day, and it was like April. It was like 100 and something. Like it was hot as heck, and we just sat on the sidewalk and we put up like a pop-up canopy, and we just sat out there while they worked on the bike. The upholstery shop across the street was closed, so we just ate birria and just chilled at a little garage while a dude like changed some oils and stuff, and then and rode back.
That's badass.
So
I'm actually super pumped. I'm really excited. I've rode in 3 countries right now: the United States, Portugal, and India.
I feel like India's probably like driving in Mexico on steroids.
Some of it, maybe.
Because I was watching some just videos of people driving in Delhi, and I was like, I was having a heart attack watching videos.
I did one video. So I know I've been home for a year and I haven't finished that series yet because life.
It's too much good shit.
Yeah. There's a lot of good things happening all the time. But in one video I did, it was like the first video, it's kind of like a teaser.
Mm-hmm.
I show this clip of me riding in Delhi, and we're just trying to get to the freaking hotel. And I'm not exaggerating. I think we were 5 kilometers away. So that's like 3.5 miles or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, it took us like 3 hours. And a little bit of that was because we ended up stopping because the bike was my bike was overheating. And I was riding like a maniac. Like there was one section I got on the sidewalk, beep, beep, move over. I'm on the sidewalk. But you know what? To be fair, another guy, a local guy did it. And so I was kind of following his lead. But,
Okay.
when he stopped at a store, you would have thought that maybe that's why he was on the sidewalk, or I just took the sidewalk as another lane. But yeah, I kind of hope that it's like that because I love a little bit of the wildness.
It is. I definitely like. It was. I mean, I'm sure we broke plenty of laws in that country, just with how we were writing. But yeah, there was like. But I also wasn't aware of how to. I didn't know where I was, so I'm having to follow these people, and they're going, 80 miles an hour through a residential area with potholes everywhere, and I'm like, oh, okay.
It's always weird when you play by house rules.
Yeah.
Of a house you don't know the rules, and you're trying to learn as you go. That's one thing about India. Ben, when I rode with Ben, the first day, it was a hard day for us. And this video is out, but I remember him telling me like, well, this guy's an idiot, and by the way, I thought the same thing. But then you got to think like, bro, they don't play our rules.
Yeah.
If we don't play by their rules, we are going to get jacked up.
Yep.
All right. I mean, and that's just, or it's going to take forever to do anything.
Yeah.
You have to play by house's rules. So going with the Adam Sandoval riders, and my assumption is there's going to be enough of us that I will get introduced to the rules real fast.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's a full go.
Yeah, I think there was like 5 or 6 of us that were down there in Mexico, and I was able to pick it up pretty quick. You'll have no problems. Like, you're 10 times the rider. You know what I mean? Like, you'll get it, no problem.
Yeah. So my buddy Bob's going, and he is a hell of a rider.
Hell yeah.
And he has never split traffic. He's never rode in California. So we're flying to LA to get started. And it's so funny because he doesn't really love Mexican food,
What's wrong with him?
He's a Canadian guy. But no, and it's so funny because we've had 1,000 meals together, him and I.
Yeah.
And he freaking told me one time, I was like, hey, let's go get this Mexican joint. He's like, but there's a burger joint. All right, dude.
Can't be like back home where you can get both at the same place and they're both going to be good.
So, I told him, I was trying to explain to him, I was like, dude, Mexico is different. Mexican food is much different than Mexican food in Minnesota. Or
absolutely. Yeah.
It is another level. And you don't get a burrito and it just have a bunch of cheese sauce and shit on it. Like that is totally a Midwestern thing.
Yep.
That is not a real life thing down there. No. It's nothing to just get meat. They'll be like, oh, you want a carne asada burrito? Yeah. Meat, a little onion, some cilantro. Do you want guacamole and running guac on here? Salsa? Yes or no? No? Okay, fine. Here you go.
Yep.
Or there's the salsa bar, Yep. That is the normal thing. I'm so freaking excited. My mouth's watering. So I was crying earlier and my mouth's watering now. Like, this is a very emotional thing for me, apparently. Yeah. Do they drive on the right side or the left side?
Still the right.
Oh, okay. You just never know, bro. It's a foreign country. I've done a lot of Mexico riding when I'm running people and stuff. Yeah. But now I'm going to do Mexico riding.
Yes. Yeah. It's it's just riding hard, but on shittier roads.
I love how you say it.
It's
ride hard, ride fast on shitty roads.
Yep. Yeah. I think that was probably honestly the thing that really kind of not that the roads were back where we're from are nearly as good as Minnesota roads, because they're not even a little, but they're still considered there's the roads in Mexicali, I've noticed, unless you're on a main drag, aren't as kept up.
So their infrastructure is not as good as ours. So that's what. So I needed to watch out for potholes.
Yeah, basically potholes. Yeah, the thing.
or what is it called when it fucking falls in?
Oh, sinkhole?
Like a sinkhole? Yeah, like
maybe.
whole
I mean,
houses
it's
are
the desert,
missing.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I appreciate the Mexico stuff, but I'm pretty stoked. So if you guys are in the Southern California, Phoenix, Arizona area, this video should be up and going well before that. It's the 7th from Buddy Stubbs, Harley Davidson in Phoenix, Arizona. We're riding to Mexico. We're going to Rocky Point, Mexico, and we're going to party for a couple of days and before we head home. So I'm pretty freaking stoked. Adam's a good dude. He's about community. He's a big motorcycle community guy.
Hell yeah.
So I'm happy to support his cause, and I'm not sure what I'll be doing, but I'm gonna be around. So so if any of you guys are in that or interested, hit me up. And then that's definitely a highlight that I have coming up.
Hell yeah.
And I know you got something coming up before we talk about a couple of things that Leaving Hope has, but a little bit more about you. You're an electrician.
Yes, I'm a licensed electrician by trade.
You're a father.
Yep.
Of 3 wonderful nephews of mine.
Three feral little boys, wonderful spirited kids.
Yeah, they got their rabies shots. They're okay.
Yeah.
I love those boys. For reals, I do. You know that. But husband, obviously.
Yep.
To a beautiful wife, and yeah, I mean, we live like 2 blocks from each other, so I see your house like every day. I usually check like, is this out? Oh, I see his bike out. What's he doing? But yeah, so you're a busy guy too. I mean,
yeah,
I only have minnow. I couldn't imagine if I had 3 minnows how crazy life would be, but I have an idea because she's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Busy, but yeah, this was all the exceptional things this year. The one downfall is you and I did not share the road very much.
No, I didn't get to put many miles on this year, for a myriad of reasons.
Life.
Yeah, life. Pretty much. Just
Life.
Sum it up to life.
Yeah, life. Next year, 2025.
Very much, yeah.
So when you're playing the Buffalo Chip next year, we're fucking riding to the Buffalo Chip.
I'm gonna do everything I can to make
No.
we're riding.
He said, I'm gonna do everything I can. No, bro. We're going to ride, and whoever else can drive.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Dang. I mean, because first of all, I think next year, if I can make it happen, I might make Buffalo Chip like my home base.
Hell yeah.
Because I really, really enjoyed that venue so much.
Me too.
Not just work-wise, but like when, because I put the cameras down and started just enjoying it. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
And a lot of our friends were there. Angelo from TNA Customs was there, and his wife. It just, my wife, like everybody was there. We were all there to support you guys. And it was so much freaking fun. I remember just being like, why don't I just make this home base? So anyway.
Yeah, I definitely think you should, right? Like the Buffalo Chip was like, because we did Sturgis and then we just did the Chip, and like they're not exactly the same. They're kind of a little bit different, but the Chip was that's just like home away from home. Like really, just the way that they run it, the way that we were treated, the wonderful opportunities, and the way everybody just went above and beyond to be so incredibly like accommodating and awesome, like across the board the entire time we were there. Just the staff was awesome, the setup was awesome, the way it was organized was just, it was on point. Like it was a well-oiled machine. Like,
would you say that even compared to like other music venues that you've been to? Like how does a musician, how did it stack up? Because you've done quite a few different venues.
Yeah, I've played on a lot of stages in a lot of places. And yeah, ain't nothing like the Buffalo Chip, man. There just isn't. It's like it's easy to get nervous and like in your head, and pre-show jitters and all that stuff and the butterflies. And I remember getting up there and I was on the big stage and I was like, holy smokes, it's okay. It's real. Like, oh man. And then, we're sound checking, and then I go out to the end of the catwalk and I can hear what the audience is going to hear. And I was just like, I'm not even nervous anymore. Like, this is going to be awesome. It sounds like a real band's up there playing our stuff. Like, and then, yeah, it was such a, like, when I wasn't nervous anymore, and then we were like, oh, I remember you coming back, and we were all kind of chilling backstage in the dressing room and stuff. We're all like laying there and just chill. It's the calm before the storm, and you're like, what the fuck is going on here? Like,
yeah. I said, who has the cocaine?
Need more cocaine in here or something. What the fuck are you guys doing? Yeah. It was just like, it's calm before the storm. Like,
what are some of the highlights from Sturgis for you this year, would you say? Or from the Buffalo Chip or whatever?
well, everything from the Buffalo Chip, right? Being able to be there, right, was huge. But you being there, Will being there, like my people being there, my band being there, like that was what made everything, like the difference, all the difference. That's what meant the world, really. Like that I'd say is the highest point. And that's saying some shit, right? Like I'm an MMA fan and all that stuff. I've been a Conor McGregor fan for many years, and like I got to meet him at the Chip at our show. So that was really a cool kind of experience too, just kind of incredible, really.
You got to meet a few of the fighters, or were they hanging out or whatever, right?
Yeah. A couple of the guys, I think Josh Dyer was one. He won in like first round, super quick.
I'm so bummed I didn't make those fights because I was supposed to go back, but I had a work event the next morning, you know that. And dang it, I was like, I wanted to go back and watch that second show that you guys put on, and then I would have went early and watched the fights. And
the fights were so good.
Okay, next year, man. So we're gonna have to start planning 2025 apparently, because Sturgis Buffalo Chip is home base. I'm gonna go to these fights. You got to get on the stage, so I know who we got to talk to at Buffalo Chip.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean,
we definitely want to do it again.
Oh my god,
all the agains, all the years.
Oh my god. It was freaking cool. I'd love to see Bad Wolves, and I actually would like to see Jelly Roll or Kid Rock. I'm kind of I'm not a big music guy. I might listen to a lot of music on my motorcycle. That is actually the only time I listen to music. Other than that, like when I'm driving truck, I actually listen to sports and podcasts a lot. I don't listen to music very often. So it's really interesting how music and me only actual gravitate with my motorcycle involved, which is why it's so interesting that your music is such a big part of my channel.
Yep.
You know what I was thinking? It would be fun. I need you to make sexy music for me. Like some pole dancing,
Oh yeah, like we got a wah pedal.
I mean, because I'm always having to drop sexy music on all these badass bikes that I get the chance to ride.
Yeah, you need a little waka chicka.
Yeah. And so I need you to do some of that for me for sure. But so I need you to do that for me. Okay. So Eulogy is would you say that's your what is Eulogy to you guys? Your first song, your biggest song?
Yeah, that was the first single we released. And ironically, I wrote that on your couch many years ago,
and I use it as my intro music.
I remember sitting on his couch many years ago and just being in a mood, in a place in my head and emotions where I needed to write that song. And so I remember just like getting a pen and like a yellow notepad that was on your coffee table, and I just wrote it right there, sitting on your couch, like smoking a cigarette back when I was stupid enough to smoke cigarettes. And, like I still remember like the cigarette smoke burning me in the eye as I was writing it, like just cause I was on a roll and I didn't want to like stop writing and forget words. Cause I do that a lot. Where I'll omit cause my brain's moving faster than my fingers or my hand. And just kind of funny how all these years later it comes full circle. Like it's it's the song that you're using on your channel. Like, us being connected. That's like, I mean, what are we pushing now? Do we want to do that math?
Nope. Nope.
You're like, hell no.
No, we're good.
We've known each other far longer than we haven't.
My daughter would say that's the 1900s. That's what she would say.
Oh yeah, I saw a picture. It was like, be patient with me. I'm from the 1900s,
Yeah.
and I was like, you know what? I like that actually.
Shut up, little minnow here.
All right.
Yeah, dude, it was. And then, real quick, we're gonna do an episode 2, but real quick to finish this up. You have one more event left this year, actually. November 9th.
We have 2 shows.
snap.
We did book 2 shows.
Okay.
So one is November 9th at the Skyway Theater in Minneapolis. We'll be playing, it's Valhalla Metal Fest. It's Black Flood Diesel's. It sounds like it's going to be their going away show, their 25th anniversary, and then they're calling it a day. They've been in the Minneapolis scene for a long time, so they were kind enough to ask us to be part of the show, and so yeah, that's what we're going to wind up doing. We're going to go up there, play with them, and Straight Jacket is another one of the headliners, and so is Reaping Asmodia, and then it'll be us and BFD, and then there's 10 other bands.
And that's November 9th.
November 9th.
And what's your other show? Because I'm busy on November 9th. I'm BMX.
I know. You're going to be partying it up where it's warm.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's always hot where I'm at, you know.
The struggle is real.
So then where,
and then,
what's your next one?
And then the next one after that will be in Inver Grove Heights, again here in Minnesota, on November 30th. And that will be with our boys in Nuisance.
Okay.
And that will wrap the year up for us playing out. We'll be in the studio pretty hard before then and then after then.
Yeah, because you're working on a new album.
Yes, we're working on our full-length debut. Actually, Chaz joined the band the day we signed the record deal.
That sounds like good luck.
Right? We actually signed it at the brewing day for Lupulin this year, so that was kind of, yeah, we signed with Fire Rock Records, our Fire Rock music group. They've been super awesome, super cool cats. Very much, yeah, it's just been another awesome part of an amazing year.
Dude, killed it. I mean, really, you guys all killed it. It was such a pleasure to watch your guys' growth this year. I'm not sure why I got emotional earlier. That was kind of weird. But I am kind of a softie when it comes to stuff like that. And it just shows to show you that I am so freaking proud of you guys. You guys killed it on another level. So I'm really pumped about that. How can we find you? What's the best way to find Leaving Hope?
So you can actually find us at www.leaving-hope.com. Only because Without a Dash was taken. I'll buy that domain soon enough. But yeah, leaving-hope.com, and you can get all of our social media links. There's exclusive content that's there. There's music videos there. There's pictures. There's all sorts of stuff.
All the streaming platforms?
All the streaming platforms should be accessible there. If they're not, then they will be.
Do you think for season 2025 Ridingfish, maybe we should switch up my intro music a little? What do you think? Think about it.
Yeah, well, we're gonna re-record Eulogy for the record.
Okay, cool.
So if you want that one, sweet. If you want another one, we'll do that too.
All right, man. So you know what? We're gonna work on that sexy music.
Yes, yeah? Absolutely.
Okay, good. We need that. We need some sexy music that I can drop often. And then we're gonna find you on all the streaming platforms and leaving-hope.com because the other one was taken.
Yeah, leaving-hope.com, and all of our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff is on there.
All right, guys, well, check out D and Leaving Hope. Make sure you guys tell them that Ridingfish sent you. We're good?
Yeah.
See ya.
Ride hard, ride safe, and ride fast.
Okay, so this is what I used to say. Ride hard, ride fast, and sometimes safe, and say hi to somebody you don't know.
Yeah.
Peace.